In part 3 of our natural navigation series, what we're going to take a look at is how to determine direction, again when the sun's not present, but knowing that the sun is present most of the time on a hillside, and how it presents itself with snow. And particularly today, since I don't have snow, we're going to take a look at growth and consider photosynthesis and all that cool scientific stuff. Glad you're with us. I get this back to the shop and I can do some editing. I'll be able to find some photos where basically the sun hits a hillside, and a hillside that's facing the south where the sun is more prominent, the snow is going to melt a lot sooner than it does on one that's facing north where the sun is not as prominent. And so that's a real easy indicator, and people see that a lot and don't really know what's going on. But that's real simple. Again, a hillside that's facing the sun that has snow on it's going to melt more quickly than one that is facing the north. But what you can also do, even if there's no sun present, is basically what I got behind me. Right now, I am facing the southern sky. And so what behind me is also facing the southern sky. So you'll notice all those pine trees and how thick they are right there. And it extends, oh yeah, you can see it almost over to that white oak tree right there, over to a little more to the side. Those are Virginia pine trees. Any type of growth that is out here is going to want sunlight. This is what we keep playing with, is the sun is such an indicator for us in many different ways, even when it's not present. And a hillside like this one, particularly where this opening is, and there's a lot of sunlight that's hitting that side of the opening, all those pine trees that you see, there's pine tree basically seeds throughout that whole forested canopy there. The issue for those pine trees is that they don't have the ability to come up because they just don't get enough sunlight. But when this opening was made, I made this opening again as a wildlife opening, boom, they just shot up everywhere because they get a lot of sunlight. Because up until that point, all the way over, if you can probably see that gravel road, all the way covering that road and everything was thick vegetative bramble type cover, and I cleared all that out to create this wildlife opening, and wow, all those trees came up. What I'm going to do next is take another shot on a northern facing hillside so that you can see the difference in this same opening, and we can take a look at how different it is where the same opening is there but the pine trees did not come up because they don't get as much sunlight. Actually, I'm behind the camera now, and what you're looking towards right there is where I just was. Those are all those pine trees. We can go all the way basically around the southern side of this hillside, which is, you're still looking on the southern side. You can see all these pine trees that are growing on that side. Continue on around until we get basically 180 degrees the other direction. And this is the same opening. It's just we're now facing, this hillside you're now looking at is a northern facing hillside. Therefore, you don't see as many pine trees along the same exact opening because there's more shade here and they do not get as much sun as over where we are before. So basically just walking into this opening, even if the sun was not present. So basically, as I walk into this opening, even if the sun is not present, I'm going to know that the area behind me is not receiving as much sunlight. Therefore, it is probably the northern facing hillside versus that side over there is a southern facing hillside because it's getting more sun. And so I basically have a decent idea of the direction, north, south, east, and west, basically from the vegetation that's growing here. So just in case I don't find the photos for the snow, because I'm not sure that I have any, you can think of it this way. Basically the area behind me, if there was snow on the ground, that area behind me would still have snow longer than the area on the other side where the pine trees are. That area, if it had snow on it, would melt first before the area that's behind me, simply because there's more sunlight on that southern facing hillside. So with that said, I hope to see you next time on or off the trail.